Hello and welcome back to another special of Forgotten Up 2. As some of you might know, the community map pack is going to be released soonish. I think maybe in a week or two the maps will be put into the official server rotation. So I thought I'd maybe take a short look at a few of the new maps in there. Not really a review because that would have to be a lot more in-depth, just a little, just looking at them, first impression kind of thing. So let's see, I want to start, I think we will do like 2 or 3 of them. Now I don't know them by heart, but I want to start with the, in my opinion, most interesting one, the Tarawa one. From the Forgotten Honor Tournament custom map. I'm an idiot apparently. Better. So, yeah, Tarawa is one of the Pacific maps that they have. There actually was a Tarawa map back in Forgotten Up 1 as well. Map was made by Prozac, who's actually a beta tester as well. Yeah, let's have a look at it. How come that sometimes words or player names are blinking like this? Is that normal? Is there a point to this? I mean, it seems to be influenced. No, apparently it doesn't. Oh, weird. Okay, and let's look at the map. Now, I don't know if it's a one-to-one map, but the the island does actually look like this. Of course, in reality it goes on beyond the map edge here, but it just like peters out into this really long, straight line. It's not really interesting for gameplay. And yeah, if I remember correctly, in reality they landed first here, along this beach, and then later more people arrived here. Tarawa was very, very heavily fortified, and you know what, screw this, I'm just gonna spawn in. And yeah, here we are. And this is Tarawa. I'm not sure this M4A3 Sherman tank is quite correct. I think they used M4A2 once, but never mind. Yeah, right. This I think in real life was... Well, they actually had guns from Skoda or something weird. No, or British guns, right? There was a story there. But anyway, let's look at the map. So yeah, as you can see, very heavily fortified. You have these bunkers, which I think are from FH1, which are very iconic for the Pacific Theater. Nambu LMG, or also I think from FH1, from the look of it. This is a bit unfortunate. I think these trench skirts here could be blended in a bit better, because right now they don't really look like they belong to the same map. Usually for grass you use a grass texture, but it doesn't look bad, to be honest. This does though, yeah. This needs some different color to blend it in. I mean, the detail texture seems to match up, even though this... I mean, generally this detail texture has relatively big tiling. It looks really weird and a bit low-res and busy. That could be changed in like a second. But yeah, other than that, I do like the looks of this. I did look at an earlier version, and the object placement on this is generally quite good. Get lots of emplacements, of course, lots of trenches. That house needs no light maps. So what I want to look at now is that pier. Forgot the name of it. Yeah, also light mapping errors here. Probably should check out the light maps for these statics. Yeah, that big long pier, because I remember, I don't know, did anybody who watches this play the Medal of Honor version that played in the Pacific? That was one of... I actually really liked that one, because it had lots of early war equipment in it, like for example the M50 Rising submachine gun that you usually don't see. So, yeah, I really liked that, and it also had a Tarawa level that was very close to the real thing, where you landed here. I mean, that was back in the day where it was kind of at the tail end of that trend of having World War II in mainstream games. So, but back then every single game had to have a beach landing sequence at one point. Just as today there always has to be one night vision thing in a modern warfare game. And one where you command like a drone or something. That kind of looks out of place. I wonder where that's from. Is that from Battlefield 1942? Kind of looks like it. Yeah, here's the pier. Now, I think these are... This is slightly disappointing. It would be nice to see like a custom static for this, because it's such an iconic thing. But yeah, this pier that goes out into the lagoon that also existed in real life, and if I remember correctly, a section of I was actually the first people who landed were a section of scout snipers, marine scout snipers, who landed here and then worked their way along the pier. That's, I think, a vanilla Battlefield 2 static, although I think we also have that on maps. Isn't that on Silo Heights? Maybe I got rid of it to save on texture space. These things. I used to be on a lot of 2.0 maps. But yeah, I think in real life, I don't know if this pier is really that industrial. I think it was more of an improvised thing that looked a bit like... can you go under it? Yeah, you can, but... Well, actually... no, it's not... It would be cool if you could decide, like you land here and then you decide either you go under it or you attack from across here, from up here, I mean. But yeah, generally, very nice first impressions of this. I mean, I nitpick some of the stuff, but generally this is some nice static placement. Not really sure about the textures. Some of them seem off. Maybe really it's just the tiling here that needs to be changed a bit, but they look kind of off to me. Although I certainly have seen worse. I think there also was this... Yeah, these are, I think, FH1 buildings that were made. I do remember there was an update about this ages ago where they introduced new Pacific buildings. Isn't that a shisha? A water pipe? I don't know if they had these in Japan. That's more of an Arab or, you know, North African thing. Hargo tank. I think they had Hargo and also Shiha tanks on here. Garrison HQ, yeah, right, that's the big bunker which was one of the one-to-one copy statics that they made for FH1 back in the day. Again, wonky. What kind of static is that actually? It's kind of... the light maps are wonky on it. Oh, it's also bunker, I think also from FH1, at least I don't know it from FH2. Yeah, generally, of course, all the Japanese stuff is in here. Yeah, I wonder if this vegetation is new or is that from vanilla? Yeah, right. This was the command bunker that's actually on the island, and there's a famous series of photos taken after it was captured where you see the holes in it, where the naval guns blew holes into there, and there was also a knocked-out tank. I think a Hargo or maybe it was a Shia like this one, parked next to it. I don't remember exactly. Yeah, to be honest, these kind of bother me. It's because they are black and white. These need to be color. I think they made the mistake just using the detail texture on it when you need to add color. Also, I wonder if the materials are set up quite right for this, because that truck here is getting damaged. And yeah, I like this bunker. Sad thing is that I think in FH1 they put this on almost every Pacific map, making it kind of less special, which in my opinion you shouldn't do with specialized statics like this. So, other than that, pickup kits. Turtle mine, nice. And a sniper. I don't think I ever sniped in these. I mean, they had a release earlier where you could play it. Yeah, I don't think I used this. Pretty sure the reticule is wrong though. I do remember they had this really weird and complex reticule for the Japanese sniper rifles in real life. Yeah. One thing, in terms of realism, so as you can see here, the assault kit is unlimited, which for one thing we don't really do except for the Russians, and sometimes like in late war with STG-44s for the Germans. Certainly shouldn't be done for the Japanese, which also then have the SMG here and here. Now, while the Type 100 SMG was the most used one in the Japanese army, it was a really, really rare weapon. They didn't standard issue SMGs. The only units who received SMGs, but then really a lot of them, were actually paratroopers. Normal infantry did not have SMG, so this would basically in my opinion, you know, for FH2 standards, it would be used like an FG42 only on a paratrooper map. They also had some other SMGs. For one thing, from China, you sometimes see photos with like MP34s. You know, the one that we also have, the German, Austrian SMG. And they also, the Navy actually bought some Beretta M38 SMGs as well, although I don't know what they did with them, but maybe they had them on chips for like boarding parties. Although, again, this Type 100 here, which I think it's the early variant, yeah, probably. The late one had a really high rate of fire. These were really only used by paratroopers. Maybe they would have used more if they ever attacked the home islands, but that didn't materialize. But yeah, anyway, generally speaking, as I said, this is just a little like sneak peek, if you want to call it that. Not a real like a review, but generally this map I like it, because one problem I had with the Pacific map so far, while they weren't bad, in fact I think they were the best maps in these community map packs, they also were kind of Battlefield 1942 style maps, and this one is way more in line with modern FH2 type map design, because well, it's based on an FH1 map. So while I'm nitpicking, generally speaking, I really like this, and I can't wait to try this out. And maybe Well, not maybe. I'm pretty sure I will get a good video of it once the map pack goes live. Okay, maybe have a look at the USA spawn screen. Well, that seems fairly fine. The only thing is I wouldn't use the M1A1 Thompson, but the older one from the North African map, M1928. That's more appropriate for this 1943 era, especially in the Pacific, but that's nitpicky. Anyway, so let's look at another map. I would not even cut the video, screw it. So, what else do we have? I don't think I've seen that. That could be actually interesting. It sounds like something in Burma, so we would have Commonwealth against the Japanese, so that could be cool. Yeah, Indians. Although I think they probably just use Brits. Who made it? Does it say? It's the Forgotten Honor map again. Well, it doesn't seem to say. Nice music though. Gets you pumped up. It says it's on 14th February. It would be nice to know which year so I can nitpick the history behind it, because Burma, I don't know much about it. Okay, looks like a... Okay, let's just look at here. Looks like a... Okay, the mini-map is really busy, like, kind of... But it looks like a pretty good conquest layout. It looks a bit small, for my taste. Yeah, nice old British layout, but let's switch to the... Ah yeah, now it's easier to see. At least they don't have the SMG kit in here. Okay. Ooh, jungle terrain, and pretty good one actually. Because often people... You sometimes see that in PR, but people think jungle, and then what they do is they just spam overgrowth, and it's a horrible disaster. But this actually looks pretty good, like with these differences in height and the big rocks on top of them. There's actual gameplay going on. It's not so thick that you can't see anything. This is actually a nice texture. It looks interesting. And I also like how between these hills you have this brown area to kind of guide you through. It looks very nicely made. The first impression certainly good, but yeah, it does seem a bit small. Although I mean it's not Badia small, or maybe it is, I don't know. Oh, here you would defend. Ah, this is nice. I like this. This is a really unique environment for FH2 as well. Although the water is kind of... That looked kind of weird for a second, but I get it now. Okay. Yeah, I really like the terrain of this. I wonder if this is adapted from like a... Is this maybe even like from some vanilla map that I don't know? It looks kind of Battlefield vanilla-y. But generally I really like it. It's well made. Okay, one thing, undergrowth here looks just terrible, like it doesn't blend at all. And if you look at modern FH2 maps, for example, the best example is actually the Fallet Pocket after the remaster. You can see how it's best to really blend in the undergrowth, otherwise it looks kind of weird, especially if I mean they do have kind of long render distance apparently for it, and the map itself is small and you don't have long view distance, but often you get the problem that these pop in then at range. So yeah. This temple is nice. I think that's from vanilla. But I could be wrong, maybe it's a custom static. Oh yeah, that could be fun to fight in. Yeah, It does kind of look like Battlefield 2 vanilla. They had lots of Chinese maps. Yeah, this one I haven't, by the way, I never saw. I do get a certain vanilla Battlefield vibe from it. Actually, is that a road tile? No. This kind of looks like there used to be a road tile, yes. No, maybe they packed the map wrong? Or it is actually a vanilla map and they didn't have the road tiles. And now just the discoloration is there. It kinda looks wonky. But yeah, I'm really digging this. Ah, these are unfortunate. To me these look too modern. I mean, we do have these oil barrels. I would have used them. Although you would have to think, why are oil barrels even there? Yeah, I really like this. Look how this jungle is done. And it's not just spam of overgrowth, it's actual, like, gameplay. You can get into cover. I actually like this almost better than the Tarawa map. Really like it. Yeah, I wanna check this out in a server as well. Okay, this looks really bad. The static. It's probably from FH1 or something. Cargo tank. Wonder, do they have several skins for these? Didn't the other one on Tarawa have like a camouflage skin? Or maybe I misremember that. Never mind. Yeah, I do like this one. It looks like a nice, straightforward map. Just wanna look what they have in the Indian HQ. I wonder if this is in 1945 or something like that. Probably best to use the old Thompson, but with the normal foregrip at that point. Although they did still use in 1945 the old Lee Enfield here and also other things. Yeah, like for example the Grand Tank, which for example you don't see that in Normandy. Or even later, but in the Pacific they were still generally good against the relatively crappy Japanese tanks. So yeah, as I said, I do like this one. I like the looks of it. I wonder where that's from, if they made that from scratch, because I do really get a vanilla Battlefield vibe from this. But maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, it's just a vibe. Okay, anyway, let's look at another one. Certainly nice to have not only Americans versus the Japanese, but also Commonwealth forces joining in. Yeah, and usually doesn't take so long. Weird. Well, it was Irrawaddy River, so what else? Most of these I think are old. I think this one is new as well. Oh yeah, that's about that famous raid where they saved people from I think on the Philippines. Yeah, there it is, on the Philippines, where they saved POWs from the Japanese camp. Well, that's an interesting scenario, made by a Geopad. Okay, let's take a sip of water. Maybe okay. So this would probably be more of an infantry affair. Okay, that looks interesting. I really like the sounds. Okay, so let's see. This is of course because it's a raid map, it's a weird setup. So the Americans can spawn on any side and then I suppose surprise the Japanese. 1 second. Sorry. Wanted to look if I could see if there are, for example, like mortars or something here as well. Let's spawn here. Okay. One really needs to be careful with undergrowth. Players should never have the impression that they can hide in it, because they can't. Because for one thing it doesn't render at range, although that might not be much of a problem on this. I think on some graphic settings it might not even render at all, to be honest. Now the first thing I'm noticing here is that there's like no cover. Well, I guess this thing. Don't know what that's supposed to be, to be honest. But unless you count the dubious concealment of the undergrowth. Okay, so here we have the gate. I wonder if you can blow these up somehow. 1 second. This tank hunter kit seems to have satchel charges. Somehow these look destructible to me, but I might be wrong. Maybe they would be marked on the minimap if that was the case. This is kind of unfortunate because it's like... Now I suppose there's probably a broken version of the static as well where you can like sneak through. But you can't really make that out from afar, so what I'm predicting is that there will be many players who will run up to this and then look for an entrance and running along here before they learn the map. And again, there's like really little cover on this. Yeah, here, okay, here's an open version as well. Yeah, I wonder if this is a one-to-one copy of that camp. Wouldn't surprise me. To be honest, my first impression is not all that great for this one. Kind of feels like there's no actual gameplay on this. Looks like one of those maps where you place everything from the top without really thinking about it. Like, these are just random huts that all look the same, or almost the same, placed almost like on a grid. Okay, that was weird. So apparently these forward positions are on a timer, never mind. For a second I thought I had joined a multiplayer server by mistake. That's like a... There's no flow or anything to it, it's just random buildings. Yeah, not really in love with this, and I mean it's not completely flat, but the terrain is also very unspectacular. So if you have a terrain that is this, not flat, but this relatively straightforward without big elevation changes, you really need to save that, so to speak, or you really need to step up your static game, and I'm just not seeing that. I mean, maybe it will play, but I mean, especially because this is an infantry map, you know. It's weird. So you can't even get in here? Is this door destroyable? Can you jump through here? Yeah, anyway, not necessarily got a good first impression of this one. Okay. Well, I guess even Japanese prison guards like to have some gardens. This looks nice, I mean, nicely detailed. It's just that it's really hard to explain if you never like looked at a map analytically, but it just feels disjointed and random. Or to put it differently, it looks more like a landscape than a map. Because the map has a purpose to it, and this doesn't really. Yeah, so for now, thumbs down for this one. I think we will look at one other one, because I'm still not tired enough, apparently. And then I will end the video. Maybe a non-Japanese one this time, or a non-Pacific one. I think these are all old. I think this is a new one. Gothic Line. So something from the Italian front. Ah, yeah, right. I remember I actually looked at this ages ago, and they had the most horrible color textures on the terrain. It looked like Battlefield Heroes, but I think they fixed that. But I haven't looked at it after that, to be honest. Apparently an FH1 port, although I can't remember this map, to be honest. Created by Kviot, that racist cunt. So yeah, let's see how the terrain changed. Yeah, the Gothic Line was, I think, after the capture of Rome in the north of Italy. Although by that time, of course, all the eyes were turned to northern Europe. Okay. Oh yeah, right, I remember this map now. Okay, to be honest, I don't see much of an improvement in terms of the color textures. They still look fairly horrible. Oh, Jesus Christ, and the light settings are... And I've made some fucked up light settings myself, but this is just weird. Like, it doesn't fit together at all. And yeah, I don't know about the terrain textures. I think these were created with... by stitching together the maps in something like, I don't know, Battlefield 2 mod toolkit, and then painting that in Photoshop or GIMP, but I don't think whoever did it really knew all that much what he was doing. For one thing, they need to be really desaturated. That's one of the things that I always do wrong at first as well. The color textures, if they look good in Photoshop, they're probably shit in game. They really need to be desaturated more than you would think. And yeah, the light settings don't help much. Apparently they have a bomber on here. I know people kind of wank over that, but to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of that, because to me bombers always kind of seem out of place. Because they're they're a strategic asset. And I think FH2 is at best on a tactical scale. Okay, let's look at... Okay, if you look at the map itself, I think this is actually a nice layout, but not for a push map. To me, this is a clear conquest map. To be honest. It's just, what I'm guessing is, as you said, okay, it has too many flags. We don't want backcapping. So they made a push map out of it, which I think shouldn't be done. And I know that there are FH2 like vanilla maps or stock maps or whatever, where the same was done. For example, from the top of my head, Sanklo Breakthrough to me doesn't really look like a push map, it's a conquest map where somebody didn't want backcapping, and I think that's always either make one or make the other, don't half-ass things. Also, I just noticed the German, I have that bug where the German flags are not showing up. Never mind about that. But yeah, that's kind of unfortunate in my opinion. Maybe get rid of that flag, and then you would have 1, 4, 6. Still pretty high. Thing is, if you don't want backcapping, you know what you can do. Even if you have a conquest map, don't put 4 fucking jeeps in the main base. Just saying. Let's look at German side. Apparently a Fallschirmjäger map. And to end this, let's look first at the town here, which is apparently on a hill. Yeah, see, the colors there are just weirdly off. Yeah, these are the static sets from the what's it called? From the Italy set that they made for one of the tournaments. I think the Forgotten Honor one. And some Creed statics. I like this idea here, that the pavement got destroyed, so we have all these stones. Would of course be better if they would actually fit here, but I don't think that's that easily made. I think there's a waterfall here, or at least I can hear one. Oh yeah, over there. I like stuff like that, waterfalls. What the fuck? Yeah, don't do that. That looks horrible. Like really, really horrible. Although it is instructive for people who don't know how the height maps work, I guess, but holy shit. I wonder how high you have to set the terrain distance that this doesn't start to warp, you know, at like 500 meters. Yeah, I don't think the effect you were going for really was achieved here. It looks really wonky. Sometimes you should really know the limitations of the engine, and this, okay. I think here somebody tried to do more than what was possible. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's have a look at what the Germans have in their base, I guess. And then we'll call it a day. I hope the video doesn't run too long so I don't have to take ages to upload it. Okay. Yeah, also the German late war stuff, of course. Little trick. Don't use this Panzer IV skin if you also use the Wirbelwind, because then you load 2 Panzer IV skins. And on a map like this, where you already have all kinds of different vehicles, I wonder how much. I wonder if I could actually find that out. I wonder how much this map loads actually. 1 second. This will look probably really horrible. One second. Oh yeah. This is more than Silo Heights actually. Yeah, you need to cut down on that. Otherwise you might get performance issues, including people crashing out if they don't have enough RAM. Don't want that. And it might actually crash the server easier as well. But yeah, anyway, that was a short impression of some of the new maps. Of course, there's lots more in there. I mean, they almost have as many maps as in the main game by now. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a nice day.